Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So right here we have the Boox Tab Mini C, and right here we have the Note Air 3C. Now, you should be able to see an obvious difference. They're both on their home screen right now, but there is an obvious difference between the two right here. And I want to point that out today. And by the way, just some specifics here. Both of these tablets have their front lights turned off, and they're both at the same setting as far as the... Let's just go ahead and turn them on. But we're going to deal with them off just so you can see the settings here. As far as what the settings are, they both are at the same settings as far as darkness and color, vividness and color brightness, and they have high contrast off, and they're both on HD. So all the settings are the same here. But go ahead and turn them back off here. But there are some differences, and that's what we're here today to talk about. So let's do it. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Roderick for Rants About Tech, and like I said, we're gonna just take a look at this situation I have here. I've been just doing some testing with the Note Air 3C here and the Tab Mini C on the other side, and just because they both have two different operating systems. One has a note-taking operating system. They both come from Boox, and I didn't even know this was a thing at first. They're both Boox devices, but one device is a tablet or a note-taking device and specifically built for that. So the frame is really thin, it's rounded, really nice to hold, and the operating system is built around the note-taking aspect, even though they both can do note-taking. This one over here is of the Tab series. It's not the note-taking series, but you can take notes. It has the same note-taking app. They have a lot of the same settings, but they have a lot of differences along with those similarities as well. So I've been looking at that and I've been like, man. So I have one that has the Tab OS and one that has the Note OS, and I assumed that the Note OS would be just superior for note taking. And I mean, I guess it's subjective, right? But I don't like it. So that gives you, there's a spoiler right there. I don't like the operating system that's on this thing. I just did the unboxings and I'm getting into the reviews right now. So I think by the time this video comes out, I would have reviewed the Remarkable 2 by then, or by now. But it's just, I've been digging more into the Boox devices because they do so much, and I'm leaning towards the Boox. I'm not gonna lie to you. We got the Super Note to do. It's coming. You may be wondering why the Super Note pen is here. It's an awesome pen. I love this pen. Side note, tangent. I've been using it on the Boox devices. I know that's kind of sacrilegious with the porcelain nib, but man, I gotta tell you, I tried it. It's remarkable. I won't do that here today, but I will do it to you soon. The video is coming. It is coming. But back to this. I mean, well, you know what? I'm just gonna move this out of the way. Like, is it gonna put it on the screen? Not today. We'll save that. We'll save it for another day. But we'll put it away so it doesn't drive you guys up the wall. All right, back to what I was saying though. So the operating systems are just different, and I thought this would be good for note-taking, and it may be, like I said, those kind of things are subjective. It may be really good for note-taking, but it's just bad. I mean, just bad. It doesn't have the functionality of this OS over here. I mean, this is a smaller screen, and I enjoyed this way more than this. Just bad, man. All right, let's talk about the obvious for a second. So the obvious first thing you may see when you look at this is the screen colors. You know, we'll get into the operating system, but let's just talk about you know what, I'll skip that. It's another video too. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So it's just bad. This is way more functional, the Tab operating system, I believe, on these eInk tablets coming from Boox. There's like settings that you don't get on the Note version of the operating system. Let's just look at it real quick. So right now you might notice, and let's just go ahead and turn them on so you can see it a little better. And this is the brightness I would have these devices on when I'm using them. So I'm going to keep it at this brightness, and I hope it's visible for you guys to see. If not, I'll bump the brightness up in the edit. But as you can see here, I have widgets on the home screen on this device. This is the home screen, but you can't have widgets. It's just a row of apps over here that they feel like is essential. You don't even get to pick what apps are over here. You just get to pick if these are there or not. I don't even know if you get to pick if those are there or not, but I know you get to pick what order they're in. But that's it. So I'm either looking at my notes, I'm either in the library for my PDFs and books, or I'm in the apps. I never go to the store. I'm never looking at storage, and I go to the settings, of course. But even if we look at these, and we'll look at these individually here in a second, but just looking at what I would normally want to go back to, and my notes is the home screen on this particular device because it doesn't have a home screen you can put widgets on. So this is the most functional for me, even though it's not really the most functional. And I say that because on this side over here, we have widgets that are actually functional. So I have my drive widget right here. I have my calendar widget here. So the drive widgets, let's go through them. My drive widget at a glance just shows me the last documents I was working with. Just at a quick glance, I can just see all those documents and work with them. Bam, by writing. Right here for my calendar, I can quickly see where I'm at in my day. What's next up? Where am I going with my time? And how am I doing with my time? Right? At a quick glance, I can see that. And a lot of that is writing and researching that I do with these devices, which is one of the reasons I bought this, is to be more powerful than this right here and more space so I can do some real computing. We'll get into why I feel like this is a really good laptop replacement for me because I do a lot of research on laptops, but this will replace me having to do that on a laptop. But that's another video as well. I'm getting ahead of myself. So many videos. Stay tuned. Get subscribed. Hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Let's not play around here. If you like this content, definitely hit that like button because there's more coming. But so I got access to my documents that I want to work with right here at a glance. I have access to my day that may refer back to documents right here at a glance. I have access to my notes right here. Like I can see and this is my most recent notes here. And up here, these are my most recent documents from Drive I've opened. So I'm looking at a most recent view. So it just gives me a jump back into where I left off at. This right here is a widget that shows the most recent notes that I've opened. And this widget here shows me the memo that I have in the calendar app. And the calendar app is useful to me because, like I said, it gives you that memo right there. And that memo stays right there on the home screen as a widget. And it's just a quick way for me to jump into it, write something down that I want to, maybe put into a script later or put into a more involved document writing session or editing session that I want to do, or just something I'm doing with my day. Or like right here, it just gives me a note about the Tab Mini C. It just puts it there in front of my mind, little things that I want to remember or little things that are coming up that aren't in my main schedule. So it's just awesome. And I can jump right into this right here. Let's go ahead and jump in there. So I can jump right into there and it'll just show me those things. And I can jump right into other sections. And no matter what day I'm in, I can write notes for those days and it'll show me those things when the day comes up. It's just a beautiful way to go about doing stuff. And all of this is note specific. If you notice, all of these things either keep me on task or they are a quick way for me to get to the notes that and documents that I'm working with. And, if I go over one page, well, my hand gestures are turned off because I don't want to accidentally hit the screen with my fingers and things go crazy. But you can see here, I have my library here for my PDFs and books. And so it's just a really quick way to go about handling your notes and your organization, right? Over here, it's not that way. There are no widgets that I can put on the home screen. And there you saw that. That's another problem of mine. There's an arrow that just pops up intermittently. And I'll play that back for you and enlarge it so you can see it. But intermittently, there's an arrow that just pops up out of nowhere. It's really annoying. I want to like the Air 3C. I really do. I like the way the screen feels, especially with that porcelain nib on the Super Note pen. Oh boy, it feels like a dream. Oh, what was that? So I'm looking at this and I'm like, there's no way to put widgets here. It's telling me nothing useful other than what notes I've been working with most recently. And like I said, I get that right here in a widget. So I'm just getting that, or I'm just getting my library, which again, I get that in a widget over here on the tab mini. You know what I'm saying? It's just not functional. Let's go into the settings real quick. The settings to me look way better on the tab OS than it does on the note-taking OS. This just looks like a whole new set of apps here. They don't look like settings. I mean, they are, right? But they don't look like settings. But this is how I'm most used to seeing settings look, right? So I get to go through here and just pick my and pick my settings. But more importantly, there are settings here that aren't in the note-taking OS. Even though this is a bigger, should be more capable device than the Tab Mini C, it's not as feature rich. So, and if you're buying a Boox device, it's because you like feature rich devices. Let's be clear about that. If you're getting this device for your note-taking needs, it's because you want more than just note-taking. And though what I am doing, let's really look at that really quickly. And though what I'm doing here is just note-taking and ways to keep me organized and on task with my note-taking, even though that's the case, I'm doing that with the non-note-taking operating system and the non-note-taking device here. But because you have the customization options and the flexibility to customize it to your own needs, this is a way better presentation for my note-taking than their note-taking presentation is, because I've been allowed to customize it and do what I want with it. A lot of those customizations you can't do over here, okay? And like I said, there are some settings that aren't here as well. Like, I like to adjust the home screen. Like when I turn the device off, or the screensaver. So when I turn the device off, it automatically defaults to a screensaver that is the last thing that was up. So if it's a note, let's pull a note up really quickly. This is a crazy note. I don't know what I was doing here. I might have been just testing some things out. But if it's a note, then the last thing I can see is that, and I can walk around with that, with it off, and still read that note, still reference that note, and still glean information while it's off. And I treat it like an actual paper tablet, right? So, and my fingers don't bother it or anything like that. So it's wonderful. And when it's off like this, I get a little notification up here that tells me that it's sleep. Because sometimes I'll do that and I'll just think, oh, the backlight's off, and I'll start writing. I'm like, oh, it's actually off. And I can't tell that it's off. So I made sure that I customized it to put a little marker there. But before that, it was customized to not have any marker showing that it was off. But I customized it to have that little sleep marker right there. So I'll know at a glance, yes, that device is off, even though it's still showing me and presenting the information. This device, you can't do that. Whatever situation is going on when you turn it off, yes, the information does show through, and that's called transparency mode for your screensaver, if you guys want to know what that is. You can't customize what it shows as far as how it presents to you that it's sleeping. It just has this press power button to wake, and it shows you the battery level right there. And that's fine and dandy and fine, but that's could be blocking information that's already there. So I'd rather that not be there. And so when I went in to try to find the setting to change that to be more like this, it ain't there, Jack. It ain't there. You just can't do it. And there's more situations like that throughout the two different operating systems. So I'm going to do a video kind of outlining the differences between the two operating systems. And even though this is a note-taking operating system, according to Boox, because of the lack of flexibility, it may not be more beneficial to you than the actual tab operating system, which is supposedly not the note-taking friendly operating system. But to me, because you can customize it, it can be whatever you want it to be. And that's the value of options and flexibility. And that's what the operating system that comes on the tab gives you. All right, you guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to be done with this rant. But I'm definitely going to do more of these comparisons and bring more of these situations that I find to light and the little quirks here and there. Believe me, there are a few with all of them, to be honest with you. But they all have their pros and cons. Like, they're all good in their own way. So stay tuned, get subscribed, like the video if you like the content, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, take care.